guys, this is Anne from It's a Lovely Life, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, welcome. So I do a lot of mommy tips and mommy related videos because I'm a mom. And yes, so if you guys want to see more of me, well then don't hesitate to click that subscribe button there and stay tuned because I have more videos coming up. But anyways, today our video is going to be all about, well, if you've seen the title, it's all about tips on how to wean off your toddler off of their pacifier. Yep, so if you guys want to know my tips and tricks that work with my toddler, keep on watching. Oh, do you have a toddler who's obsessed about their susus, or their num-nums, or their passy, or however they call their soother? Well, have you tried every tips and hacks there is just to wean them off of it? Well, if you answered yes to both questions, then you're watching the right video. Like you, my toddler was pretty much attached to her num-num till she was about maybe 23 months. And she's currently 2.5 years old now, and she is pacifier-free. Yay! But the journey was the journey to being pacifier-free was hard, but it was totally worth it. There are some tips and tricks that help us wean off our toddler off of her soother, and I have 5 tips for you guys today. So let's start with number 1. So number 1 would be to, as a parent, we need to mentally prep ourselves, because you have to come to terms with yourself that this process is gonna be long and that it can be hard and frustrating. I remember it, like, just the thought of starting to wean her off of it was stressful. They've been with, like, she's with her soother for 23 months basically, and just the thought of it is like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be a disaster. It's scary to take that off of her. And everyone's telling me stories already of how, like, they tried to wean off their kids at this age, and then it just went to a mental breakdown for both of them. So they just basically just said, you know what, whatever, until she's ready. But that's fine. I mean, if you're doing that, that's fine too. But to me, I was really determined to get her off it. So first that I did was I mentally prepped myself that it's gonna be a long process. So I prayed for a lot of patience, because remember, you have to remember this saying, because I'm gonna say this all over again throughout the video. Remember, it's progress and not perfection. Number 2. So of course, first we mentally prep ourselves. Second is we prep our child. And how are we able to prepare our child to this journey? It would be by explaining to him or her that he or she is a big girl now, or a big boy, and that big kids don't need their pacifier. I was able to, like, just consistently tell her, just like any other things that I'm trying to wean her off, is that, you're a big girl now. Big kids, look at mommy and daddy. Mommy doesn't have a pacifier because mommy's a big girl. So just trying to, like, explain to her in that way. And also it could be maybe reading a book about growing up, and maybe ask them a question like, so does this girl or boy have a pacifier or not? So for example, if your child likes Dora, you may be reading a book about Dora and ask your child, does Dora have a pacifier? And then they'll say no. Well, why do you think Dora doesn't have a pacifier anymore? Well, if they're able to communicate to you that way, then that might be appropriate for you and your child to do that. But so Eva was about 23 months old. She was able to like understand the words big girl or big boys, big girls. So I tell her, like, look at mommy. For example, mommy is a big girl, so she doesn't need her passy. So basically that's how I explain it. You can be doing this, every day, just to remind them, you're a big girl, you're a big boy now, and blah blah blah. Explain why they don't need their passy anymore. Number 3 is so start by just strictly giving it to them at nap time and bedtime. So this can be tricky because they're so used to having their pacifier all day. But if we consistently offer pacifier at those times, then they'll be able to know that, oh, I guess I don't need my pacifier at the other times. So it also helps them create a routine, because we're not taking it away right away, right? Because we want to do like, the trick is to do it slow, so we don't really traumatize them by like just taking the whole thing away. So I started with that. I started with just giving it nap time and explain it to her, because she's a big girl. Like I said, she's able to understand that already. Like, she's verbal. So I tell her, I'll say, Eva, you can only have your num num at nap time. And then throughout the day she'll ask. So I'm also responsible in like just being also like consistent with myself, like, oh, I don't have to give in to her. So number 4, well, basically I already said it about being consistent. So being firm. So number 4 would be being firm, and so being firm and consistent. So as moms or as parents, we have to be able to like know when we should be firm about things. So to me, because I know that we are doing this journey, so I already told myself that I cannot give in to Eva when she's having a tantrum and she's asking for her nummy. I cannot just give in to that. So that would be hard, because I know we went through almost a week. She was like a wreck. Number 5, this is actually a tip that I read somewhere, and I tried it with my child. So they said if you're taking away something from a child, you gotta somehow replace it with something else. So I tried giving her, so as we progress from like totally taking it away from her, so we still did like the routine and all that. We start like, so in the morning, I start not giving it to her totally throughout the day, not even at nap time or bedtime. So because of that, I have to replace it with something else. So what I did is I give her a lovey. So it could be like this. Like she doesn't have a specific lovey or anything. Yeah, any stuffy or any replace it with a stuffy or a blanket, a special blanket, and and that worked with my child as well. So yes, those are the 5 tips that I want to leave with you guys today. I just want to say that with our journey, we did have throughout that journey, we kind of slipped back a bit. and that's okay. It's fine. It's not about perfection, like I said. It's about progress. Also give yourself a pat in your back or your shoulder, because you deserve it when you see the progress, like from an obsessed little monster to being pacifier free. So anyways, I hope you guys learned something from this video, and if you guys like this video, click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button as well, so you guys get notification for me. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.